disappointing.
I formed a company with Mr. Kazunari Tomi, and the company's name is Studio Alex. We went to Game Arts to promote our business, and we told them we would like to make an RPG game with a compelling story that was something different from other games that existed at that time. After playing the Lunar game, if people would say, we have to live in a more positive fashion, live our lives looking to the future, that is the kind of game I wanted to make. This was the motive that inspired the Lunar game.
You had this great story, these characters that you cared about, and you were interested to see how they got together at the end, Alex and Luna. It played out more like a movie than a game because of the animated sequences along the way. It kept getting the player back into the game.
A large percentage of the games that come to the U.S. Originate in Japan. They start in Japan and they're reworked for the U.S. audience. We were the first independent CD-ROM publisher in the U.S. So I'd heard about Lunar, and I really had no preconception about what it was. I was thinking of some sort of moon game.
When we saw the Sega-CD version of Lunar, we knew that that was a game we wanted to do. It was a great game.
They had a CD-ROM system that was single speed, 150K a second. You could only spool so much data off of that. So you couldn't get really involved animations. You had a limited amount of video memory, a limited color palette. There was lots of limits.
Games with good stories cannot be made without CD-ROM. And because of that, Lunar started with Sega-CD, then a Saturn version, and then the PlayStation version. Whenever there's a better means of expression available, we will use it to express things better, and that's why we made the PlayStation version. People might ask a question such as, which version is the authentic version, Sega CD or Sony PlayStation, or is there any difference? But I think they both reflect the story of Lunar. I believe the Lunar world actually exists. The person who tells the story may change. Before, Mr. Sega-CD tended to often forget things, and he didn't pay attention to the details of things. But nonetheless, he was the storyteller for the first Lunar. This time, Mr. PlayStation, who is more sensible, smarter, and has a better memory, with more capacity for expression, told the history of the Lunar world. The first storyteller sometimes forgot some of the characters, or told the ending in rather finalistic terms, while the new storyteller told us much more.
My friend.
Since the Sega CD version of Lunar to the PlayStation version of Lunar, we have rewritten the latter half completely. The biggest difference is the description of the heroine, Luna. In the Sega CD version, where the main character, Alex, leaves the island, they part. If that's the case, though, we felt that people might not feel sympathetic toward the heroine, so we changed that in the revised scenario. We also increased the number of characters in the game. The development of the enemies was a little weak, so we added some enemies. I believe there were only 2 or 3 minutes of animation for the original CD version, but now there's about an hour of animation. As for the voice actors, in the first version of Lunar there were only 4 actors, but now there are about 15 voice actors. In terms of imagery, there was quite a bit of upgrading, so there's almost no comparison.
There's been quite a few changes actually to the scenario in Lunar. Definitely the characters are older. There's no age actually given, but they're definitely older than the first one. And I think that that was to strengthen the love aspect of it. But also, another reason they were aged, as I understand it, is because the people that had played the original had aged too. And so they wanted to keep it so they could still relate to these characters. Bokusan, his art designs are great. Huge fan of what he's actually done with the Lunar characters and what he's also done with anime, because he doesn't just do game characters. He actually is involved with manga and anime. He's done some very popular stuff in Japan, like Giant Robo animation series.
As for special training, I really haven't done anything such as going to a specialized animation school or learning from someone else in particular. Everything I learned, I learned by actually doing work. To design the costumes, I suppose I was inspired by what I saw in movies, magazines, and people around the city. For instance, the scarf Luna wears is an idea that was inspired by a nurse's outfit at the dentist I was going to at that time. This is the storyboard for the Silver Star story. There are about 45 to 46 scenes here. Once this is accepted, we start the actual animation by placing orders for the scenes to animators. For the remake of Lunar, digital paint was used instead of celluloid. The drawings were first scanned and then painted with a specialized software. And sequenced as movie clips. Once that is done, the next steps are taken. Editing, retaking, and soundtracking, just like any other animation. Computer graphics, CG, was used a lot in the scene of Luna on the boat, such as this part where the ship moves. The ocean is a regular 2D background. The ship is mostly all CG. Also, these night bugs, somewhat like lightning bugs, are done in CG. The advantage of 3D is that it is possible to create objects that are difficult to draw by hand. First, we give the layout to the 3D person, who creates something that moves like this. We print that out as a wireframe, and we give that printout to the animator. For one scene of Luna singing, there was this much printout. We gave it to the animators, and we asked them to complete it within a week or so, but it actually took 2 months. The 3D CG was rendered using soft image. We combine images rendered to soft image with the images that are colored with the Macintosh. Then we do partial touches. We then complete the process using QuickTime, etc. We edit the QuickTime movies using Adobe Premiere. Usually, when you are involved in a production as an animator, your involvement is very restricted. But in the case of Lunar, I was able to be involved in not only the plot, but also the scenario, and even part of the game making. In other games, most of the time it is difficult for animation staff to work so well with the game staff. With Lunar, we could both work well together, argue well with one another. The long period of time involved in this project allowed us the opportunity to exchange ideas with one another. We all gained a lot from each other. Objectively speaking, the boat song is not a scene that is directly related to the game. When our schedule was getting a bit tight, it was suggested that we cut it for that reason. By having that scene, I thought it would be possible to show Luna's spirit through a more interesting approach than those used by typical games or animated illustrations. I insisted very strongly to keep this scene. And luckily, the producer and others accepted my opinion.
Music mix up the world of Lunar. The magical spells are cast based on the musical songs, and that's pretty much your first scene with Luna is she is singing. So music is a very important part of this game.
I think the music is very important. There is a good chance that 70 to 80% of scene's emotional impact can be attributed to the music. For example, this time we had the very talented Mr. Iwadari from the very beginning, which was very lucky, I think. The music he makes moves people's hearts. I was in charge of the music for the first Lunar, the Mega-CD, Lunar the Silver Star. And since then, I have been in charge of all the music in the Lunar series.
Iwadari does the actual music composition for Lunar, a number of other things too, but in this particular case he does the composition for Lunar. His company is 2-5. He works very closely with Isao Mizuguchi, who does the arrangement and the lyrics and such for the songs.
The scenario writers and graphics people will tell us specific places they would like to use the lyrics. I will first ask them what kind of scene that is. For example, what state of mind is the heroine in when she sings that song? In what situation does that particular song come out of her mouth? The song is the heroine's, though I write the song. For the listeners, the song is sung by the heroine naturally in that situation. Lunar the Silver Star included about 38 songs or pieces of music. And among them, a main song emerged, which was the song of the festival that Luna sang by the natural spring. This was a very important song in the game. And the image it created was one I wanted to keep. All the other songs were created according to the image of Luna that existed in my mind. These amounted to over 100 pieces of music. It took about half a year to complete it. After I made the first song, however, there was a layoff for a hiatus. I wrote over 100 pieces of music, so I needed about half a year. Usually when people complete an RPG game, they feel it was great. But for Lunar, because I received postcards, I know it is true. I get comments like, I cried for the first time after finishing an RPG. I look at the mail from the users of the game and at the home page, and I see descriptions of them saying something like, the tears come out when I listen to the opening song, Wings. People seem to be attracted by songs. I hear these messages that say, when I listen to the Wind Nocturne, it exposes the heart bare. There are some battle songs that people seem to like that make them feel heartwarming.
Things you have to isolate when you're looking at a Japanese game, as far as what's its suitability for the U.S., is the language, because there is some stuff that's acceptable in Japanese language even, that you can't use in the U.S. without getting a stern rating. For example, in Cosmic Fantasy II, which is one of the games we did for TurboGrafx, which is a pretty innocent game overall, there was a scene where one of the characters flipped off another one in a close-up. So we had to change that to she was shaking her fist.
We pretty much take the main plot point, throw away the rest of it, and write it in an American style with a bunch of cultural references that people can relate to. Even though it's set in this mystical world, you still have these pop cultural references that allow you to get an attachment to the characters. And people tend to get more involved in something that they can relate to.
One of the things we're known for now is the translation. The quality translation, the fluid way that people speak, the natural way that people speak.
If we hurry, we may be able to sneak in without waking the dragon. Then we can get a fantastically huge diamond from its lair worth thousands and thousands of silver, making us filthy, stinking rich and very popular in the process.
In our games, we always try to improve it, add some gameplay element that improves the game, makes it more fun for the user, or easier to play. We added some personality to some of the characters, like Mike's lab. You had this guy in this tower, this inventor, and he's all up in this tower, and you have to go through this huge thing to get this maze to get up there. And we're like, well, why was he so isolated? You know, he's like a hermit, a recluse. And so in the U.S. version, which wasn't in the Japanese one, we had him suffering from tremendous body odor. So that's why he had to be isolated. And so he makes comments of that ilk.
You're trespassing! Go away!
I'm sort of a professional hacker, right? They've already written the code, but it doesn't really work for English. They have, the Japanese character set has thousands, tens of thousands of characters, whereas in English we have a relatively small defined set of characters, but the words tend to be longer because it takes more characters to express a thought. They gave us a space of 38K to actually put all the text for a particular section of the game, and the English text can get up to 72K in size, so I had to write data compression to squish that text down so it would actually fit into memory, and that's been a major battle for me.
Welcome to the Magic Guild of Vane, Alex of Berg. I am Galleon. My apprentice Nash speaks quite highly of you. He said you cleared the trail for the White Dragon. I didn't make it.
The actors for the first one were John Truitt, who's the voice of Galleon, probably the most well-known of all of them.
He said you cleared the trail of the White Dragon. Is that true?
Voice from Galleon, you sort of have to rest your body into it and enunciate every single word clearly and just enjoy every delicious sound. I didn't realize, when you see the people making cartoons sometimes, you think they look kind of ridiculous because they've got their hands moving up and down and they're bouncing and they're jumping around. But you actually have to do that with your body in order to get the right sounds and the right inflections coming out of your voice.
To get the right performance, usually it doesn't take much more than saying, this is your motivation, this is what's going on here. If you're jumping or whatever, do a little jog in place to get yourself out of breath a little bit and then do it. But sometimes you have to do extreme methods, and, the favorite story of Dawn is the warm milk from Wendy's.
We were filming something and I was supposed to be choking or coughing on something, and we came up with this wonderful idea that milk would do the trick, and I think that I must have downed something like 1.5 gallons of milk while I'm trying to hack up all this sputum and all this phlegm and all the stuff that would make it sound perfect. I was a little sick after that.
You come in and you kind of memorize your lines first of all, because a lot of times you have to match the video and you have to lip sync it exactly.
I mean, you've got to really, really fit the voice into the action, into the allotted time that you have, because the animators have done a job first, and then you have to go back and you have to fit your stuff in with what they've done. So yeah, it can be really, really tough.
Victor, he's my husband's best friend and they've been buddies since high school. He called me up because he needed a little cutesy voice and a little mousy voice. And that's what I have, so.
Jackie Powers does the voice of Nall again.
Well, it's really exciting to come in and there's a huge sound booth and people and chords and contraptions everywhere. It's easy and it's comfortable for me to get into the part of Nall, being that he's mischievous and a close friend, and it seems like a likable character overall.
And Ashley Angel did the voice of Alex in the first one. Originally, we were going to probably ditch his voice because he had grown up too much, and after having heard his voice again, I'm like, he doesn't age that much, maybe we can use his voice, because it's kind of nice because the character has grown up in the game, and if his voice is a little bit older too, that's okay.
I think I'm a lot like Alex. I really do. In what way? I like to be the hero. I like to be the guy that gets the attention at the end, and I like to be the guy that saves everybody. Especially Luna, and she's a pretty hot cartoon. It's a lot of fun, you know, being in the recording studio, doing this kind of thing, being the voice of, you know, a cartoon, basically. It's acting, and it's what I love to do.
And then Hal De La Housse does the voice of Quark, which is best dragon voice hands down ever. Cinema anywhere, take your pick. It's a great dragon voice. He's pitch shifted obviously, but he has a nice rumble to his natural speaking voice so that when he talks, it's just grr, comes right out.
You are the first adventurers to visit me in a long time.
A dragon is huge, and it's needed to sound huge. So by pitch shifting his voice down, and of course usually in most cases the dragon's in this nice big cave, and so that lends itself to some nice big reverb, and when we get done with it, you believe that is the dragon's voice. In the case of Null, we pitch shifted her voice higher in order to make it sound like it was coming out of a little creature rather than out of a normal woman's voice. It also helped mask whether or not it was male or female.
Alex, couldn't you hear me? I've been flying around for the last half hour looking for you. But I should have known you'd be here.
Try one more. One more like you really
Alex, couldn't you hear me? I've been flying around for the last half hour calling for you. But I should have known you'd be here.
One of the best things about Victor is that he doesn't write the script and then it's etched in marble, okay? The product isn't finished until it's in the can.
If we're getting there and we're looking and saying, there's not enough syllables, or there's too many syllables, or what's another word for, you know, how can we say this a little differently because it's not long enough, it's too long, whatever. And he's always open to suggestions if we need a new word or something like that.
Okay, let's try that again with Luna.
Victor's a demanding person, and lots of times to get the line just right for him, you have got to do it 30, 40, 50 times, however many times it takes.
And we'd spend so much time on one line, so I have to hand it to him for that, for being so patient.
One of the lines happened to be a screaming part, and we did that too many times for my own good. I think we had to wait a while because my voice kind of went away.
We may have 2, 3, 4 takes of a particular line, and usually Victor and I will sit down and he'll listen through them and pick one or maybe 2 choices of a particular line. Then once those have been selected, I'll go and drop those into the game where they belong and see if we got any problems, begin lining up the dialogues and adding sound effects and maybe nipping and tucking if we're a little long, a little short, something like that to match up all the lips.
They make fun of me sometimes, but it helps lighten things up so that it's not so serious and hard to do. So we clown around a lot.
There's been times when an actor and actress, you can tell they're uptight and we need them to loosen up for something or other. So we'll play certain sound effect CDs.
When he tries to make you laugh, he puts fart noises in the microphone.
I haven't found a person yet who can keep a straight face during a certain set of sound effects CDs.
Wishing on a dream.
Jenny Steigel does the singing voice of Luna. She has a boat song in the second one that wasn't in the first game, and she does the singing for that. She also does the singing for the opening song, too.
I've always wanted to sing. The boat song, more or less, is talking about Luna. She's not sure where she's headed, what she's doing with her life, and she has a bunch of questions about herself, and she's talking about that in her song.
When we originally started translating the games, I used to try and stick as closely as possible to the translated lyrics of the songs. But somewhere along the way I figured out that that really didn't convey the emotion of the songs as well. So I decided that if I took into account the author's original intent plus the feeling that I got from the scenes and just rewrote the lyrics entirely, we ended up with a much better overall song, which is true in the case of Luna with the boat song, which the English version turned out to be a much more melancholy and reflective song than the Japanese one.
Wishing on a dream that seems far off, hoping it will come today. Into the starlit night, foolish dreamers turn their gaze, waiting on a shooting star. But what if that star is not to come? Will their dreams fade to nothing when the horizon darkens most? We all need
much control freaks on everything because we want to make sure that from start to finish the game is handled correctly and properly. By doing this deluxe packaging that we're doing, it becomes a collector's item. We have people that still have our packaging from TurboGrafx, still have our games from Sega-CD, and they keep them because it was great packaging. And with Lunar being the great game that it is and one of our personal favorites that we've done, we wanted to create packaging that the consumer wanted.
We play games. We're fans ourselves. We just happen to be fans who make games.
Pretty much that's the standard requirement for being an employee at Working Designs is you have to like games and you have to play the games.
When I played the game, it's probably been the biggest thing of realizing, hey, we did some good work here. We're able to sit back and look at it.
Each producer involved with Lunar sought such a high level. I feel that the people who are very fond of Lunar are able to sense that fact in some way or another from the production. Everyone demanded such a high level. When it was all done, I felt such satisfaction to show everyone the finished project.
It's a huge privilege to be able to be a part of that.
And it's a good memory to make, something to tell my children about.
I think this re-release of Lunar is going to be big.
It's actually, it's more or less, oh my gosh, brain fart. What did you even say?
Take two.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, busy. Oh, come on, give it some emotion.
Yes, sir.
And action!
And so, I totally lost my thought here.
I can relate to that. Molesting the goddess Althena, it's all so exciting.
He's dead based on the fact that he lost his life.
Let's do that one more time, please.
He's dead because he died.
But that's a spoiler, don't use that.
Okay, it was really good. I got a nice shirt out of the whole thing, which is kind of cool. You know, I can say, you know, I was in that game. I won't have a nice car to drive or any other clothes to wear, but I'll have the shirt.
You didn't hear that, did you?
He's just this bodacious, pink-haired bimbo.
And then, well, that's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah! Hup! Yeah! Hup! Hup! Did you see me? I'm going like this. Don't look up. Riding on the range. Hup! Hup! Okay. Hup! Yeah! Ha! Hup! Shut up. I know. I was all like, Bad Girls, that movie with Drew Barrymore. Speaking of bad, I'm a cowgirl. Hey, even cowgirls get the blues. No, not saying it. I don't want any outtakes in this game. Because when I went into the office last time, I was so embarrassed because everybody in the office hated me and knew what a dork I was. Ow.
But Excitement of that kind is a long way from Berg. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just total concentrated. You clicked in for like 2 seconds. Deeper, thinner, higher, go. Too deep, thinner, higher. Just like 4 short, like, you know, adjectives to describe like the direction you wanted me to go in. Where else would I be? Yeah. Hold on. I can get this. I can get this. Listening to farts will make me laugh, I promise. Am I sounding excited enough? No. For like the way Alex needs to sound. Am I excited enough? Is it just I'm not getting the voice right? Is my voice displaying enough excitedness? My voice. We're talking about my voice here. The actual line. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. I don't know. I opened my eyes really wide to try to kind of like, I don't know, get the feeling with the character, and it hit me funny. Ah! 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 I'm sorry. I have no idea. God, I just turned into the Budweiser frog. This is taking on a very bad light. Oh. I refuse to do this scene. I refuse. I refuse. I'm under 18.
Alex, you're late again, silly. I bet you were whittling away the day... Sorry. The whole day, not just the day. I missed the whole. I said the day. Wait. I felt a bubble coming up because I just took a drink. A bubble, and I knew if I said the word Alex, it would come out right then. I'm sorry. Alex, never stop believing. I did it again, huh? Never stop. Okay. Never stop believing in you. This is bad. I'm sorry, Alex. Totally fake. You shouldn't have interfered. There's no way. I'm sorry. I got my lines mixed up. Dang.
That was close. You almost didn't make it, Luna. Like a little panting dog. Getting all hot and sweaty here.
Hey, Alex, I figured you might be here. Now that the weather has melted the ice, sorry. The weather's melted the ice. Hey, Alex, I figured you might be here. Now that the warm weather has melted the ice near the dragon's cage... He's not in a cage. He's in a cave. Okay, sorry. Hey, Alex, I figured you might be here. Now that the warm weather's melted the ice near the dragon's cave, there isn't any time to waste. Get started on, start spreading the news. Sorry. Hey, Alex, I figured you might be here. Now that the warm weather has melted the ice near the dragon's cave, there isn't any reason for us to waste time starting our big adventure. And I screwed up the lines. Again, I'm sorry. Hey, Alex, I figured you might be here. Now that the warm weather has melted the ice near the dragon's cave, Sorry, I was doing Captain Kirk. Sorry. I know it was. Sorry. I was thinking Captain Kirk now. Don't do that. Subliminal. Then we can get hugely fantastic... sorry. I was doing Arnold. Then we can get... Then we can get a hugely... Waking the dragon. Then we can get a hugely fantastic diamond from its lair worth thousands and thousands of Damn, I had a good one too and I got caught. Sorry. Sorry, honey.
What a hapless bunch you are. Lucky... And to go back to the lawyer talking like this. Yeah, I want my kid. Yeah. Don't stop. Life's imitating art. Okay. I see a bright future that resides in... Yeah, I knew that. Okay. I was getting into my character. I was just lost. You should have gone with it, man. Okay. Ready? I see a bright hope for the future and cheap Pampers. I'm sorry. I just had to do that. I know these things. Russell. That's funny. I heard it on the headphones. It's like... like a ferret climbing up my shirt.
Since you're new, I'll warn you. If you dare make any sort of trouble in my town, I'll warn you. If you dare make any sort of trouble in my town, I'll pop your tiny little heads off your twiggy little necks and pop you into pooter till your butt bleeds.
I know what I want to do. I just have to get it out. Where's the bathroom? I warned you I could see. I really suck. I warned you I could see many things. Unfortunately, I've now... That was gonna be good, too. I warned you I could see many things. Unfortunately, that sucked really bad.
Ugh. No. Because it blew like a weird hair up and in my sinus and then out, and I got some space dust. Anyway, sorry. Wait. I can't remember what you want. Okay, you want... Okay. I know. Okay. Oh, then my coming out party can finally... Laughs are hard. Not galleon, dear Quark. Magic Emperor Galleon. That. Not galleon, dear.
I cannot get this line for some reason. I just don't understand this line for the... Not galleon, dear Quark. Not galleon, dear Quark. Not galleon, dear Quark. Magic Emperor of Magic Emperor. It sounded like Werner Klemperer. Okay. Not galleon, dear Quark. Magic Emperor. Why do I keep saying Emperor? Emperor. Oh, no. Galleon. Yes. That was that was a nasty, crappy outtake. I hate everything about that. I hated. Amazing, isn't it? Behold the long-forgotten fortress of Alfina. I hated that. Everything about that I hated. This is so dumb. What a delightfully inept showing that was for the good team. With them out of the way, I now can claim the title of Supreme Emperor. No, it's ruler. What a delightfully inept showing that was for the good team. With them out of the way, I now can claim the title of Supreme Ruler. The world is now my... I can't do it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll do it right this time. I can't get through this sentence. I just can't get through it. I'm sorry, I almost threw up. Okay, I'm ready. Stop! Before the path you have chosen strips you. Tongue twister. Why have you... I was already going into Kirkism. Why have you done this? What is it that you can see that I cannot? Tell me. Did you want the tell me in there? Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me! Why have you done... Oh, I don't know. Huh. What does a sigh sound like? But you want it shorter than that. Okay. I can't sigh! Okay. What? The ha-has are sucking more and more with each passing minute. Victor, my ha-has are blowing chunks.
Mine... I don't know what my name is. Okay. That was a big one. I wonder why this was hidden beneath the goddess towers. I was saying garden so bad. What's a garden tower? Why am I saying that? I wonder why this was hidden beneath the goddess tower.
I think this Dragon Master is a fake. In fact, I bet he's even a bigger phony than my former boyfriend. A good fight is just the ticket to get over that bleh. Or talking. Not sure what happened, but I'm not giving you an outtake. Hate you. Impossible. Too cheery. It's all impossible. Him, impossible. Impossible. That last one was horrible. It's all nasally.
What a night. Kyle had himself another night of wine, women, and song. Just between you and me, I think I had a little too much of the wine, and it's not working. I'm way behind on it. I don't know what the deal is. Just say it. Just song. What a night. Kyle had himself another night of wine, women, and song. Just between you and me, I'm way too slow again. That wasn't as easy as it looks, honey pants. What did I say, honey pants? That wasn't as it wasn't in the Zuzu, honey pants. Look at that thing! The fortress of Althena is huge! It's not Al. Look at that thing! The fortress of Althena is huge! Oh, Al. Not Al. Not Al. Al. Look at that thing! The fortress is a... Look at that thing! The fortress of Althena... Look at that thing. I don't know why I get the second one wrong all the time. Sorry. Ooh, flimball. That's like a hair. That's because you always ditch class, honey pie. Ply? Honey fly. Honey fly.
I am Zenobia, a descendant of the Forgotten Vile tribe. Sorry, damn. I just have to look away after I do the descendant. I am Zenobia. God, I'm so sorry. I am Zenobia, a descendant of the Forgotten Vile tribe. Oh God, there goes that Vile. I am Zenobia, a descendant of the Forgotten Vile tribe. Sorry, God, that Vile just wants to go up, up, up. I am... Sorry, I forgot my name.
We are of the Plains tribe. I am Tempest and this is Fresca. That man was trying to sell fake medicine to the desperate people here. He knowingly lied for profit. It is the rule of the prairie to execute liars. Why do you dare to interfere in our tribal affairs? Are you a liar? A liar as well, a thief as well. God, see, I was trying to go off on memory, and I've only been on that stuff for a day or so, hasn't kicked in yet. Yeah! 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 I just got to sit on one. I was two. Sue me. Come on. I don't know. I'm not really a horse guy. I mean, I haven't lived in Reading all my life. I don't know really any cowboy. Hey, Cowboy Jim, can I come over and ride your horse? Yeah. Giddy up there, partner.
I'm out of breath.